According to multiple reports, Texas Tech has their new offensive coordinator in Mack Leftwich from Texas State. In today's video, we'll look over the numbers of the 2024 offense for the Texas State Bobcats. We'll tell you what you can expect from Mack Leftwich as the Red Raider offensive coordinator and discuss, a guy that's going to go in the top 5 in the NFL draft and how he's connected to the newest Texas Tech coach. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxwell here for the Back to 12 podcast. And if you're excited about Mack Leftwich being the new offensive coordinator at Texas Tech, I know I am. This is one of those top 3 guys that I discussed in a live earlier this week. He is a true difference maker, I think, at the offensive coordinator position. If you agree and are excited about this hire by Joey McGuire and crew, all I ask you to do is simply like the video. All right, let's jump into some of the numbers surrounding Mack Leftwich and his time at Texas State. You may remember this name from his college time as well. He was actually a quarterback at UTEP. All right, so he was the minor starting quarterback for a little bit out there. But as an offensive coordinator, he has been sensational in San Marcos for TJ Klein. All right, you look at this. The Bobcats averaged 36.7 points per game in 2023 and scored an FBS program record 477 points, which led Texas State to reach and win its first ever bowl game, okay? Texas State scored 40-plus points in 6 of those 13 games in 2023, including 45 and a 24-point victory over Rice in the First Responders Bowl. Again, that is the first time Texas State has gone to a bowl and won one. Now, when you look at the 2024 stats and where they ranked nationally in terms of strictly offense, right? You're going to like this, okay? 6th nationally in total offense, about 475 yards per game, just under it, about 0.7 of a percentile down below it at 474.3. You've also ranked 11th nationally if you're the Texas State Bobcats with Leftwich as the OC in scoring offense at 31.1 points per game, 29th nationally in passing offense, just over 265 yards per game. You rank 16th nationally in rushing yards per game with 208.8, and you were 21st nationally on the money down in terms of third down conversion rate, converting on third down 45.8% of the time. Now, when you look at Leftwich in terms of the scheme that he is bringing to the 806, this is where I think things get really interesting, because when you listen to Joey McGuire talk about things, and you heard him on, early signing day, talk about when he was asked what would the offensive coordinator look like, would there be a major shakeup in scheme? Leftwich isn't a major shakeup in scheme. In fact, from a tempo perspective, he's just as quick, if not quicker, than what Texas Tech was running last year. Now, when you look at the overall archetype of his offense, it's interesting because how I would describe it is he runs a modified spread, not a traditional one, but a modified spread that kind of resembles the air raid a little bit, but doesn't have all of the principles of an air raid in that regard. And again, they were super well-rounded in both of the years that he has called plays. They ranked 26th in the country in rushing in 2023. In 2024, they ranked 16th nationally, 28th in passing offense in 2023. Then you go and you look at it in 2024, it's 29th. He's uber consistent. Literally the worst thing in terms of those 5 stats that I listed for you from the national landscape was the 29th ranked passing offense. Everything else was in the top 21 nationally, okay? This was a legit offense down in San Marcos that helped them win some games and really helped them be competitive against some really, really good teams, right? You may most notably remember that game that Arizona State played down there, right? Sun Devils ended up winning, but Texas State was in that game, right? This offense is really good, and I think it's going to translate, and most notably, I think it's going to be the most beneficial to the most important position on the field, and that's quarterback. I think Baron Morton or Will Hammond, regardless of what side you're on, will thrive in this offense because, again, what we know about Baron Morton, he loves the tempo aspect of things. And that's where Leftwich really, really thrives in his offense. He likes to spread you out a little bit. Again, that modified spread, right? He likes to spread you out, whether that's 11 personnel. He throws some 12 in there as well, 10 personnel as well. Now, I will say he didn't run a lot of 12 personnel at Texas State because they probably didn't have as good of tight ends as Texas Tech had. And I get it. Texas Tech is also losing Jalen Conyers and Mason Tharp. But you got John Carlos Miller, and you've got a couple other younger guys that you feel good about in terms of stepping up to elevated roles in that position group, where I think 12 personnel will be seen more from Leftwich in terms of his play calling out in the 806. But you're going to see a lot of 10 personnel, 11 personnel. They do a solid job of running the football. As I mentioned, top 20 in the country, 16th nationally to be specific, for the Bobcats this past season in terms of rushing offense per game, with over 200 yards rushing per game, 208.8 to be exact. And he's a guy that has helped identify and developed elite talent. And I'm not just throwing around that word in terms of elite. He was one of the guys that helped find and develop Cam Ward. And for those that don't know Cam Ward's story, he started down at Incarnate Ward. Well, that was Mack Leftwich. He was down there helping the quarterbacks aspect of things, and he helped Cam Ward go to Washington State. He allowed Cam Ward to go to Washington State, where he thrived, and then Cam Ward obviously transferred to Miami. He was a Heisman Trophy contender for a lot of the year, and is arguably the number one quarterback prospect in the 2025 NFL draft cycle. This is a guy that knows how to develop quarterbacks, right? He was a quarterback in his own right. And if you can develop quarterbacks, everything else will fall into place. I think another aspect of his offense that really, really helps, again, there's a lot of tempo there, but they've done a really good job of solidifying the offensive line down at Texas State too, to the point where you can run this offense and run it really, really well. So that's one thing that obviously is a big talking point within Red Raider Nation, in the sense of you got to go out and spend significant dollars in the portal to upgrade the offensive line that, well, how do I say this nicely? There is no way. Was booty cheeks for really the third year in a row. You have to go out and pinpoint that. Now, was it better than 2023 and 2024? Yes, I think so. But there's still a lot of things you have to improve on that offensive line, and you're going to have to go spend some real money to improve that. If you do with this offense, I think you could see Texas Tech really ramp it up and still be an absolute juggernaut, and not have much of a fall off, if at all, when it comes to Mack Leftwich. Again, we're talking about the 6th ranked national total offense with almost 475 yards per game, was 11th nationally in scoring, just a couple of spots actually behind Texas Tech. Then you had the rushing offense. That's the thing that stands out to me, right? In a lot of these spread offenses that like to go quick, sometimes these offensive coordinators shift away from the run game. No. That's a vital part of Mack Leftwich in his offense, is getting the running back involved. Now, he didn't have Taj Brooks, obviously, and that Taj Brooks can hide a lot of flaws and help an offensive coordinator look a little bit better. But also, hey, you got to call the right play to put that guy in the right position, right? So there's that. But I'm very interested to see the utilization from Leftwich for some of these younger running backs, whether that's Cam Dickey, Jacoby Williams, maybe somebody that they add in the portal, because that is something that Joey McGuire has talked about. They want to add a veteran running back to that group, along with Cameron Valdez, the two previous names that I mentioned, in Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams as well. So you got that Thunder and Lightning young combo that will go in to be true sophomores there, but you also can separate on the outside, right? Caleb Payday Douglas is going to thrive in this offensive system. I think it's good for Coy Aiken. I can't wait to see John Carlos Miller involved in it as well. And not to mention, Texas Tech is going to go out and at least add one wide receiver in the portal, if not two. But I think I'm interested as well to see the Colby Volsons of the world, right? This Ty West, like all of these guys, I want to see them in this offense, because I think it's going to push the envelope, and it's going to allow Texas Tech offensively to play on their toes and put defenses on their heels. Again, this is a phenomenal hire, in my opinion. I talked about it on the live earlier in the week, discussing the 3 guys that I thought would be home run hires for Texas Tech at the offensive coordinator position, and Mack Leftwich was on that list. You had to beat him out in terms of he had some interest from Houston, he had some interest from Utah, but instead he will head out to the 806 and be Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders' new offensive coordinator starting in 2025. Move in, well, I guess a little northwest in the state of Texas, out to the 806 from San Marcos. Again, let me know your reactions to this down in the comments below, and I'd be remiss not to mention, If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, over 11,000 strong. We've had over 30,000 views. I think it's actually closer to 40 now in terms of since the end of the season here on this channel. And we're just going to keep going up and up and up and have videos for you damn near daily. So if you want to join the most interactive Texas Tech community, and it's 100% free, the best way to support the channel and join the Back to 12 squad is follow these 3 simple steps. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.